All right, Aquarius, today we're going to get all up in your love reading for March 2023. So if you are single, if you're coupled, whatever the case is, if you're Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, this will help you with your love life. So the first thing I want you to do is pick your pile. Is it pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3? And while you're picking your pile, I'm going to say that I am QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anybody and everybody that you know. If you would like to, please leave us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you would like to get a reading done, please email me or hit me up on social media. My information is underneath this video as well. At the very top underneath this video, you will see the link also to the mat that you can barely see in the background here. I put the mat over the table before I get started to give it a nice pretty look. I got this mat from Ascension Life brand, and the link so you can see the entire mat is underneath this video at the very top. So let's get started, Aquarius. I'm dying to hear about your love life. Pile number 1. All right, pile number 1, you got the moon card, but it's reversed. So pile number 1, this indicates an issue in your love life. Those of you who are in a relationship or not, you may find chaos. So if you're in a relationship, you and your significant other could be going through something. Somebody could be bringing drama to your door. If you're somebody who's single, maybe somebody you're trying to see, or maybe somebody you wanted to see. Maybe some drama has happened there. Maybe the drama has not occurred yet, but it's brewing just above the horizon here. So it depends on the situation, but they're telling you to watch out for drama in your relationships. Chaos, negativity, arguments, hidden things, secrets, deceptions, treacheries, those kind of things. When the moon is reversed, we're dealing with the dark side of the moon. So a lot of times infidelities may come out, you know. So for some of you, things may be hidden. Or let's say you're single and you were starting to see somebody and you find out he or she is married, or he or she has a child they didn't tell you about, or he or she has some type of issue they didn't tell you about that is a deal breaker. So depending upon what your status is, this could go either way. Now, one of the things I'm hearing from here is that the two of you need to communicate. Y'all need to talk about whatever the issue is. Now, Aquarius, I know that sometimes we don't do the best with communication, but this time you need to. Y'all need to talk. This is not a time to ghost them or just shut off, Aquarius. You need to talk to this person. You might not keep talking to them. You might not even stay in this relationship, or you may want to. Who knows? But you're not going to find out unless you have a conversation with them. So I strongly suggest not shutting down. I strongly suggest talking to them, because the cards are saying that for many of us, this is going to be a salvageable relationship, but not if you don't talk. For some of us, this is going to be a money problem too. So some of us that may be single, maybe you've been coming across people that are asking you for money or trying to get money out of you. There are a lot of scams going on right now, and there's a lot of people trying to take other people, you know, for a ride in that kind of way. So if you're single, be very careful about that. That's a very common scam that's going on, is people finding someone who is, you know, lonely on a website, or, you know, a dating thing or something, like a dating group or something like that, and then trying to take advantage of them. So you guys have to be really careful. For some people, this is about the person not contributing. So like, you live there with this person, but you're the only one paying for stuff. You're the only one getting things, you know, you're only one putting gas in the car, you know, that kind of thing. Or for some of you, yet and still, it could be that this person's trying to buy you. Maybe this person is, you know, love bombing you with gifts and things, and you like the gifts and all, but you can tell there's a sinister reason behind it. If somebody gives you a gift just because they like you and they care about you, that's cool. Or they want to get to know you even, yeah, that's fine. But if they're giving it to you kind of like, you know, to try to lure you into their trap, you know, that's what we call love bombing. So That's not a good thing. So this is basically all about money. So it's different issues that come up with money. Maybe, like I said before, it's about, like, if you're single, it could be about them contributing, like, you know, going on dates and things like that. Maybe the person is cheap. You know, maybe that's what the argument is about. Or maybe you want them to put in effort and plan a date or bring you some flowers, you know. Maybe you're not asking for millions, you're just asking for them to contribute or to put in some effort. So for different people, it's going to show up in different ways, but the root of it is an issue with money. Now, remember I said if y'all talk. For many of you, if you talk through the situation, there will be a reconciliation. So let me push this back so you can see the pretty card. So that's good for many of us. For many of us, a conversation can happen, and it might be some drama. Y'all might argue, y'all might fight, y'all might have to go through that, Aquarius. And I know how you are. You don't like that all the time. I know I don't like it. So many of us are like, I'm not trying to argue, but you might have to talk. Maybe not argue, but talk, Aquarius. And it might get intense. Just because it gets intense or just because it gets emotional doesn't mean it's an argument, Aquarius. So it may get like that. It may need to get like that. You may need to show why this is bothering you or what's bothering you. Okay? If you want to be able to reconcile it, that's the way that you have to do it. All right. People in pile number 1. I hope that works out. Pile number 2 for the month of March. What are you dealing with? Ooh, pretty card. Pile number 2 for the month of March, you're dealing with the 9 of Cups. This is overall a good card. This card means that if you're single, you're like me. You know, listening to Flowers by Miley Cyrus. And you know, you're in the bathtub, you're doing self-care, you're drinking your wine, you're dancing, you know, you're happy, you know. So if you're single, you're happy, you're enjoying yourself, you're not in this sad place, you know. If you're in a relationship, you have a 9 of Cups, you have predominantly a happy relationship, you have a happy home. Nothing is perfect, as we all know, but you know, it's pretty good. The person that you're with is being true to you, and the two of you more than likely have moved forward or are going to move forward, or you're already in the forward phases and you're continuing on with your relationship. So pile number 2, you pretty much have a happy vibration going on here. This is a good thing. Pile number 2, you got a wild card. This means that your relationship is happy and everything, but the wild card means that anything can happen here. It's a very unpredictable vibration, which is very Aquarius, by the way. Aquarius can, you know, want to get married tomorrow. You know, I mean, like, it's like a spontaneous energy to this, a wild energy to this. And this is good, like, for passion in the bedroom. It can be a little bit difficult with the other person if you're too spontaneous, for them to be able to keep up. But if they're meant to be, like they said, this relationship had a good vibration, this person probably can keep up with you. And that wild card could be fun, unpredictable, and happy. This could be a fun relationship. Now, the one thing I do see here underneath the surface is that one or both of you has scars from previous loves. Now, this is not unusual. Most of us have scars from previous loves. It's very unusual to meet somebody who doesn't. So that's not strange to me. But you have to make sure that you don't let those scars get in the way of your new relationship. A friend of mine was telling me that she was washing her husband's clothes, and she had a flashback to her first husband and how they got into an argument about her washing his clothes, you know. But she doesn't feel that way about the second husband. Her and the second husband are in a good space with that. So it was like a flashback of an old scar. So some of the times our old wounds mess us up in new relationships. Also, another person was telling me that when you are used to messed up relationships, a good one kind of feels weird. It kind of feels strange, right? So like you have to kind of get used to, you know, okay, it's okay to relax. So some of you may have some scars, either you yourself or the person. If you're single and you still have scars, I would say continue to work through them, because it's good to, you know, heal them if you possibly can. And if you're in a relationship and one of you or both of you has scars, it's not too late to continue working on them. You can work on them together. So I would continue to do so, so they won't, you know, so won't, those things can, you know, not bother your relationship. Ooh, pile number 2. Pile number 2, your person is clearly the one. Interesting, because whenever they tell us that somebody is the one, it doesn't mean that they're the only person in the world we could be with. What it basically means is that they are one of the people in the world we can be with. We're not compatible with everybody. That's just the bottom line. There are certain people that you're going to have a love connection with, and some people you're just not. But for you in this pile number 2, this person could be a love connection. This could be the one. Either you've already figured that out and you're pursuing a relationship or a marriage with this person, because marriage is definitely something that could be in the cards. Or maybe you're somebody who's single and you've just met somebody and you're wondering like, is there potential here? There's definitely potential depending upon what you guys do. Or maybe you're single and you haven't met anyone and you're wondering to yourself, when is it going to happen? Well, focus your law of attraction on finding the one, because that's what this energy wants to draw to you. This is not like a, you know, a friends with benefits or, you know, a booty calls type of person. This is somebody that they're saying this could be your life partner. All right. Now we're going to go into pile number 3. All right, let's turn you around. Pile number 3. Pile number 3, you have the Sun card, but it's in the reverse. I'm going to turn it into the upright so that you can see the gorgeous artwork, but I'm going to explain it in the reverse. The Sun card in the reverse is all about it's not a bad card at all. The Sun is always a happy card, even in the reverse. But when it's reversed, it does indicate that there could be some things going on beneath the surface that need to be addressed. Sometimes these things are old wounds. Sometimes it's being overwhelmed by a situation or a job. But there is something going on in this relationship here. And the next card kind of gives us some indication of what it is. But it's saying that there's something going on in this relationship here that definitely needs to be addressed so it can move forward. So those of you who are single, I would strongly suggest that you take a look inside. When something is reversed, we always go inside. Take a look inside of yourself and see what is holding back your manifestations if you indeed want to manifest a person. Those of you who are in a relationship, you need to do some introspection with yourself and with your partner to see what's going on inside. And I know that for some of you, based on this card, it's going to be grief and sadnesses. Interestingly enough, we had some of this going on in the second pile too. But yours takes it to grief and sadness. And what that's telling us is that one of you or both of you are dealing with this or should be dealing with this. This is a good thing to deal with, because for people who are single, these blockages can hold you back. This grief, this sadness, any kind of like depressions or things from the past, this can hold you back from being comfortable to move forward. And for those of us who are in relationships, these things can make it difficult for us to fully embrace our partner, fully surrender to our partner, you know. So I would suggest, if you're in this pile number 3, and you recognize that you have the grief or the sadness, that you work through it with a counselor. If it's your partner, I suggest talking to them about it, and maybe they can work with a counselor, because this is something that can come up as a problem. It can either keep you apart, it can mess with the relationship. Some of the times this can be really detrimental. Now this is interesting too, because some of you may be deciding to have a baby. Some of you may be in a relationship right now and you're thinking, you know, I want to have a baby with this person. Some of you may already be pregnant. Some of you may be pregnant and it may be some problems because of the hurt that we talked about before, and maybe the pregnancy isn't going that great because you and that person are going through something. Some of you, it's not a baby at all. Some of you, is something the two of you are going to create or manifest together. That could be a relationship, a business, an idea, something like that. Even if you're single, you know, you could be pregnant. This could be a baby. It could be that kind of thing. Or if you're single, it could be that you're trying to manifest the person that you want. So you need to be looking at the law of attraction. Anybody who's trying to manifest should be reading about, watching videos on how to use the law of attraction. Abraham and Esther Hicks have lots of videos right on YouTube. If you found out you're pregnant, congratulations. I hope that it's a happy, healthy baby. And if you're trying to get pregnant, I hope that it happens for you. Alright, so this is Declaration of Love. This is your last one. So, pile 3, many of you, even though there we go. Even though there's been some difficulty, there's some underneath sadness, there may be some burnout, there's going to be a declaration of love eventually. You are either going to make the declaration, you're going to get over what's holding you back, or the other person is. A declaration of love can come in a lot of different ways. It can come as a gift. It can come as words of affirmation. It can come as acts of service. Touch. It's a lot of different ways. The 5 love languages come to mind, but there's also like people declare their love by asking you to marry them. They declare their love by asking you to move in or to get more serious, or to have a baby with them, as we saw in the card before this one. So there's a lot of different ways that people make a declaration of love. And so for you in pile 3, you or this person may be choosing to do that. And if you're single, maybe you're waiting for that declaration of love, and like I said earlier, it will come to you after you've done some work to manifest that right person. So maybe you're thinking, you need to do more. If you've already been working the law of attraction, something is going on with your manifestation and you need to do more on it. Some of the times it's just what you're trying to manifest. I know somebody that's trying to manifest a husband, and she's being very specific about the kind of man she wants. And any man that comes along who isn't that particular height, that particular age, that particular socioeconomic class, she won't even talk to. They won't even talk to. So she's manifesting all of these gentlemen callers, and she's just turning them down. And I'm saying to her, well, wait a minute, that one was actually what you wanted. Oh, but he was too young. Well, that one was what you wanted. Oh, but I don't really like his his job. And I'm just like, wait a minute, hold up. You manifesting, and you're being a little shady with your manifestation here, because what you're telling the universe is that if it's not, this specific thing, then I don't want it. And for some manifestations, I agree with that. If it's something that you really want a certain kind of way. But I think there's certain things can be more open. You can be more open-minded with certain things. Like, for example, if you want a woman who's 6'1", and you meet a woman who's 5'11", I think we can compromise a little something here, So those kind of little things are the things that I'm talking about. All right, guys, it's time for us to get going. Please come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.